We live in a Gremlin flat. We drink orange juice out of mason jars.
Body language is like all against me right now. You're facing away from me. Hey guys, it's Britney and welcome to an Asking for a Friend. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, but they're one of my favourite types of videos to make. So today we're doing one on the topic of flatting. So I've got my flatmate Dylan, and we're going to talk and answer your questions. So in case you don't know what Asking for a Friend is, it's where I pick a topic and you guys ask questions anonymously or not anonymously if you want.
Not anonymously.
And then I bring someone on from my life who I think is an expert in the topic. In this case, it's Dylan because he's my flatmate, so it does make sense. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Dylan. I'm Britney's flatmate. We live together. We've seen each other in various states of undress, and sometimes we cook food together. So
yeah,
that's why I'm here.
let's dive
Grandmother.
into the questions. Toilet paper paradox. Does it go over or does it go under? Flatmate fight waiting to happen. Question mark. I think it doesn't matter in a flat. I think it goes over.
Yeah, it goes over.
Yeah,
But we have a
see?
cover. We have a cover on ours, so you can't even tell.
Yeah.
If it went under or over, you
It
wouldn't
wouldn't,
even know.
it wouldn't even bother us. Okay, the second question is how to know if you will be flatting with the right type of people. Recommendations of characteristics that stand out when mate searching. So, it's quite interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
I came to this flat because I was friends with Dylan. That's how
I don't think we were good friends though.
we were good.
We were like, we weren't good friends, but we weren't like just acquaintances.
Yeah, we were in between.
Yeah, which I think,
Stage before.
yeah, I think that's an important thing to look into. Like, if you're considering people from your own life to live with, don't ever go with someone who is like too much of a friend.
And it can ruin friendships.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's natural to just assume that you want to live with like really good friends, but I think sometimes the best thing about friendships is like the fact that you don't see each other a lot.
Yeah.
It makes those times you see each other really cool. You shouldn't rush into finding flatmates.
Yeah.
I've done it in the past where I've picked someone purely because we needed a room filled, and it ended up just being
A really
the biggest nightmare.
bad situation.
And then with our most recent flatmate, we waited a little bit and we went through a lot of people, and then we found who we thought was the right person, and
and then
they're the right person.
they fit into the flat quite
Yeah.
well. Interesting thing that I want to raise is that I've come to the realization that everyone in my flat are introverts and I'm an extrovert. So when I come home and I'm like, I need someone to hang out with, let me hang out with someone. Everyone's in their room, like having them self-time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it never occurred to me that that was important until I was in the situation where I was like, huh.
Yeah.
And then I just try to fill my time.
I think it's a nice balance though, having like at least one extroverted person or at least one introverted person in the house.
Yeah, I think it would be better if there was an even number of like extroverted.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's something that you never think about. Like
Yeah.
you always think, oh, we need an even amount of like girl-boy ratio.
Yeah.
But you don't even think about personality types.
Mm.
Also, another thing is that I'm the only female in this house.
Yeah.
I'm the only girl. So I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Interesting.
I've been in that position of being the only guy in the house.
Yeah, how did that feel?
And I think the common misconception about living with girls is that it's going to be super tidy all the time.
No.
And like, I love these girls that I live with, so like no disrespect, but like, I think girls are a different type of messy.
I think you don't know until you actually
Yeah.
do it. I think if they're not the right type of people, you should just leave the flat and find a new flat. Like there's nothing wrong in doing that. I think. Is there a minimum?
Or if you're in the majority, then just ask that person
get
to move
person
on.
to leave and replace
Yeah.
them. Don't know until you've like settled for a month into it, and then at a month you'll be like, this probably isn't for me. And you have to give notice.
Yeah.
You have to give notice.
I mean, yeah, we were pretty awkward with Jess when he came in.
Yeah.
Just because we didn't know
Because we
him.
just knew.
And we're just trying to figure out if we gelled well, and now we all just laugh in the kitchen together.
Today we cleaned the flat
Together.
This is relevant How do you deal with a flatmate who feels the need to give everyone chores?
Well, I think if the flatmate is the head tenant, you just have to deal with it.
Yeah, if it's not, it's something that has to be decided as a flat. If you're going to do that, like have a chore system in place. Chore system would be handy, I think. Like,
Yeah.
because then you keep it clean.
Yeah. It wouldn't just be like, oh,
and
my
it
God,
wouldn't
it's
be like,
messy.
yeah, it wouldn't be like you feeling like you have to do everything all the time because someone else doesn't.
See, I've never had a chore system.
We don't have that.
No.
Because, well, I tend to just wash my dishes when I use them because I just think it keeps it cleaner.
I feel like we have a system here where it's just you just tidy up after yourself.
Yeah.
Like in the sense that, like I've never felt the need to have a chore system because I kind of just live off the idea that we're all adults now. And like, we all know that if we make a mess, we should clean it up. And that's just how it is.
How do you deal with a flatmate that doesn't do any chores? You have to talk to them about it and maybe in place, this is like, maybe you don't have a system, in which case you have to talk to this flatmate and then your other flatmates and then come up with a type of decision together about how this cleaning thing's gonna work, because if they don't do any chores and if you're cleaning up after them, I don't know, like something has to change there. So I just think you have to talk about it.
You have to approach it pretty carefully as well.
The next question is, how do you get your flatmate to not play One Direction?
That's rude.
This is from your flatmate.
You don't, you live with it. When you move into a flat with other people, everyone has different things they like. I mean, I like bowls, but they're all gone. Shots
Put
fired!
that in the video. Do we have a meal plan or do we cook for ourselves?
No.
We have
Oh,
that. We cook for ourselves mainly because it's just easier that way.
Brittany's a vegan, so
I'm a vegan, so I'm difficult.
If we had a meal plan, if we had to cook for each other, then every meal would be
really
vegan.
bad. Plus, what's even like another addition to that is everyone works different shifts in our house. We're never home at the same time. So when I might come home at like 11 and then eat then, because that's when I finish work, or I might be home at 5 o'clock, you know? And Dylan might be at the gym, so it would never work having we don't have sit down dinners with the whole flat. It's just whenever we happen to be all together at one time, then we'll probably hang out.
I've lived in a place that we cooked like every night of the week. It was like all the weekdays we all had a night that we cooked, which was it was actually quite nice to like
come home
to a meal.
Yeah.
Because like I don't always come home and make like an actual meal, but I think it's cool if you like don't have fussy eaters. Not that Brittany's fussy. Brittany's not fussy. It's just that Brittany's like
special dietary.
Yeah, her dietary requirements are quite difficult. Like I guess if someone in our house was, you know,
vegan,
lactose intolerant, that would be like it would make cooking for everyone quite difficult.
Yeah, but also it's just a pain to we just can't actually do that because we all have different work roles and different commitments. What are the rules surrounding visitors? Or are there rules?
I think there is a fine line between being a guest and a housemate. I was like, and then I was thinking, how do I elaborate on this?
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah, where are you going? In general, like, if you've got visitors, they shouldn't be here when you're not here.
Oh yeah,
You know
you
what I mean?
want to have someone over when you're not here.
Yeah, so like if you bring a visitor into the house, like, they're there when you're there kind of thing.
Because they're a visitor, they don't live with you.
Yeah. I think as long as you're open about it and as long as you're making sure that people know when you're bringing people over.
Yeah,
like,
I always say.
Brittany always asks when her boyfriend stays over and it's getting to a point now where I'm just like, no, I don't care. Like, I don't care. So
I always like to ask because I always think it's, I don't know, like this isn't just my house, I'm sharing it with 3 other people, so I need to be courteous to like the fact that I'm bringing people into this house, you know?
Yeah, and it's like, I know that I have to wear pants that day because there are visitors in the house and I can't just walk around with no shirt off.
I just think it's courteous, but I don't know if that's something that other people do, like in other flat situations, is that something that people have done? Or is that just...
I think I think in the flat situations I've been in, thanks. In the flat situations I've been in, like, if it's, say, like, a significant other, people just kind of consider them as one anyway. So, to see, like, you know, like, Britney, for example, with her boyfriend, like, if he's ever over, I'm just like, okay, like, that's fine. Like, I consider Luke like an extension of Britney, so it's like, well, yeah, you know, Britney's boyfriend is like a part of her life, and so she lives here and she does life here, so it would seem weird to not have Luke pop around all the time.
Yeah.
It comes, visitors are like expected if you're in a relationship, but I think if it's someone like a friend, like that's when you should ask.
Yeah, I think it's just nice to meet
Yeah.
you, because if someone had someone over and then I walked out and like they were sleeping on the sofa and I walked out in the lounge, I'd probably get a fright if I didn't know that they were going to be staying there, you know?
I think if you're good enough friends, like you don't have to ask, you're just more so mentioning and letting people know, like, hey, there's gonna be an extra person in the house. I think.
So more about just keeping your flatmates informed.
Yeah, it's a.
Perfect.
You just gotta, there are other people in the house with you, so.
Yeah, and it's just courtesy.
Courtesy. The C word.
The C word.
Courtesy.
What are the pros and cons of flatting?
The biggest pro of flatting is having complete control over your day.
Yeah, like the independence plus not having someone, although I've done this to you, texting you and being like, what time are you being home? I do that to them. Like, I could do what I want when I was living with my mum and my nana, but I always felt like...
You had to tell someone where you were going? Yeah.
In this situation, I don't.
I mean, without being too harsh, no one cares. So...
Burn!
But, good story. Well, that's not a good story, it's just a relevant story. When I first flatted, I remember for an entire week, I would tell everyone in the flat where I was going.
Oh.
So I was just like, oh, I'm just going to the supermarket to buy a pie or something. And I remember vividly one day, I said to one of the flatmates, oh, I'm just popping up to the shops to get an ice cream and a pie. And he turned around to me and he was like, Dylan, no one cares.
Oh.
It's okay. And I was like...
But you're true.
And I was like...
Like, you don't need to tell anyone, you don't need their approval, you don't need them to know.
Yeah, you don't have to tell anyone where you're going because truthfully no one cares because everyone's living their own life.
Your own fully independent entity and you can do whatever the hell you want, and I think that's the biggest pro of flatting.
That is like the only pro of flatting, I think.
Yeah.
And then the cons...
you know...
Like you have to do your own washing, you have to do your own cleaning, you have to make your own food.
But also those are pros because that's you being an independent adult, you know? The washing machine is a big issue for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to do my washing towel because other people will have their washing in there, so you just can't go and use it. You need to find a time that you can kind of, you know?
It is. I've never thought of that.
That's one of my cons, like, the washing machine is like an issue. Yeah.
Like, you also have to, like, sometimes plan your day around other people.
Yeah.
Because now we've all become people who, now our rosters have, like, synced up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And so, like, mornings are difficult for some of us.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's, like...
Because there's, like, who's going to get the shower first time.
Yeah, there's, like, running, like, fights for the shower.
How do I know that's my bread? Because some people get the same loaves of bread as well, and that freaks me out because I'm like, I don't know if I'm eating the same, and everyone gets the same vegetables. I'm like, are these my vegetables? They're in my pile, so I guess they are.
Is this my butter? I don't know, we all eat the same butter.
Oh, we all eat the same butter as well. It's like, why is no one original?
Like, milk's an easy thing here because, like, we all drink a different type of milk.
Oh yeah, everyone drinks different milk.
Yours isn't even milk.
Mine's enough to milk.
Yours doesn't even come from a cow.
Or soy milk.
Or a goat. Paying rent sucks, like...
Well, paying rent is...
I mean, it's necessary, I suppose.
I paid rent when I was at home. I think that's just something you need to accept, Jay.
If rent could just not be like a required thing, that'd be really great. Like the unknown.
Yeah, this thing I know. You don't know if it's going to work out until you actually do it. You don't want to know if this is
unless you do it
unless you do it.
and you do it for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Not just like 2 weeks and then, oh my god, it's not working.
Yeah, because the first, like even when I first moved in, the first like month was a bit iffy. Not like
No, I remember that,
but
though.
like just unsure of things and how things work before you settle into something.
Consequences are literally just going to be things that you're not used to because you've been living at home.
Yeah.
So like everything that you take for granted living at home, like coming home to cooked meals, coming home to like a clean house, and then moving into a flatting environment where all of that stuff you would usually...
You're used to is taken away from
Yeah, having it taken away from you and having it solely fall onto you, like that's the only thing that I think you could view as a consequence, but it's hardly anything to like lose sleep over. Independence, you don't have to wear no pants when you're flatting. It's true.
Alright, so that's that video done. Asking for a friend. I think I'm going to bring these back on a monthly basis because I really love these videos.
Cool.
Thank you, Dylan, for answering the questions on flatting. And if you guys have any more questions, you can ask them in the
They can answer them in the description
You
below.
can ask them in the
It's been a while, it's been a while, maybe you'll forget.
It has been a while. I thought you were going to bounce my high five there, and I was like,
Abuse.
yeah.
I like how we never addressed the cactus.
Oh. Flamingo could sit on the cactus, so.
Hey, I'm Freddy the Flamingo. I know I'm pink and you think I'm a lady bird, but I'm a boy bird.
Man.
Yeah, maybe you should have tear my nose. Look at that, sucker.
That is creepy.
Oh no, Freddy the Flamingo fell off. Flamingo.